Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another episode of TEW 2020 WWE here. As last week, finally back for the Season 2 of Salt's premiere. And now continuing on post WrestleMania 38 in this new world, new landscape of WWE. Heading on the road to our first premium live events of this new wrestling year. Raw's exclusive Vengeance and the Smackdown NXT co-branded WrestleMania Backlash, and we're kicking off things as always with another episode of Monday Night Raw here, which gets underway with the as advertised last week Broserweight Championship celebration. Bros, Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne. What a WrestleMania both men had. On night one, Matt Riddle tapped out Goldberg in Goldberg's retirement match, and Pete Dunne won the Triple Threat Battle of the Brands match. And in doing so, Drake Maverick had promised if he won that, he could have any title match he wanted whenever he wanted. And Pete Dunne's decision was that he wanted his opportunity to be that the Broserweights would be added to the Raw Tag Team Championship match at night 2, turning the Raw Tag Title match from the 2-on-2 match between the Celtic Warriors defending against Owens and Zayn into a Triple Threat Tag Team match where they came on top when Matt Riddle forced Sheamus to submit. The Broserweights winning the Raw Tag Titles coming out for this celebration here tonight. And they're in a great mood. Well, Riddle is. Pete Dunne is Pete Dunne. And Riddle said, Pete, you're my number one bro. And so, as a thank you for using your opportunity to get us these nice championships, I got you some gifts, bro. And Pete's just like, Riddle, you didn't have to do that, mate. And Riddle's like, I did, bro. I got you some stuff, bro. You're going to love it. Here, first of all, he hands him one present and he opens it, and inside he pulls out a scooter. And Riddle says, you and me, bro, we could skate around. We can go on some cool skating adventures together. Pete says, I don't really skate, mate. And Riddle says, you don't skate, you scoot. You scoot, Pete. And Pete, you kind of, and Riddle says, okay. We'll come back to the scooter. We'll come back to the scooter. Here's gift number 2. And he goes over and he gets another gift and he hands it to Pete, and Pete opens it and he pulls out a pair of like custom, like faux fur flip-flops. You know, like Pete Dunne had that vest, like fur vest he would wear in his entrance. It's like that material, but flip-flops. And Riddle's thinking, I know what you're thinking, bro. They don't really go with the outfit, but I think you could pull it off, Pete. I think you could do it. And Pete's like, Matt, this isn't really necessary, mate. And Riddle's like, okay. I think you just need to chill out, so here's the third gift. And he pulls out a little baggie, and he begins to open it up, and Pete kind of stops and said, whoa, Riddle. Not here. I was just like, bro, I just, you and me reached new heights at WrestleMania, so I thought we could get even high. And then before he can finish that obvious sentence, the two men are attacked by the Celtic Warriors. McIntyre and Sheamus, obviously not happy about losing their Raw Tag Titles at WrestleMania. They prepared for a match against Zayn and Owens, just 2-on-2, turned into the Triple Threat, defeated in the end, and McIntyre and Sheamus storming in and interrupting the Broserweight Championship celebration and taking it out. 100 for both sections there, for the celebration and for the attack. Happy with this, good work from all men involved, as you'd expect. Then we go to an interview. Well, it was meant to be a live interview with Adam Cole, but Adam Cole is coming in via satellite. And Adam says that he can't be here tonight because he's busy. He's training. He's training, ready to take back what's his, the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. Kyle got lucky. Something Kyle's done all his life. He got lucky when I took him in. He got lucky when Bobby, well, let's face it though, Bobby's nothing either. I carried Kyle to the main event of WrestleMania, and his luck took him over the edge there. But it won't. But I'll be there next week. And if Kyle's not too much of a coward, which it wouldn't surprise me if he still is, then I'll see him there. Because at Vengeance, I want what's mine back. For another 100, really good start to the show, as you'd hope, with 3 straight 100 rated segments. Adam Cole, training hard, wants a rematch with Kyle O'Reilly. Before we go to the ring for the first match of this evening, Edris Anafe in the ring, made his debut last week against Angel Garza. Put up a good fight, but came up short. And this time it is the Raw debut of Damian Priest. Really good WrestleMania, winning the Monsters Ball match against the Demon Finn Balor, The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, and Karrion Kross. Then, last week, Priest arriving on Raw and stepping up to Tommaso Ciampa after his victory over Oney Lorcan. And Priest and Anafe, Ciampa coming down to watch as well. In the end, probably as you'd expect, Priest gets the win in just under 5 minutes with the Reckoning. He makes pretty quick work of Edris Anafe. He shone in this match. Edris Anafe with a 19, 75 Priest, 42 for the match. That's fine. Edris needs to get built up. He got quite a nice ratings bump from the defeat to Garza, so hopefully the defeat to Priest as well will bump him up, and we'll just keep raising him up, because I like Edris Anafe. As then, after the match, Damian Priest readies his aim, does the little, arrow taunt he does, and he readies his aim directly at Tommaso Ciampa, the hardcore champion. Priest is making his challenge very clear. He wants Tommaso Ciampa. He wants that hardcore title for a 95. Very good work. Raw keeps on ticking along very nicely here so far. As next up, it's time for the man I just mentioned in action again. Angel Garza taking on Dolph Ziggler. Garza defeating Edris Anafe, as I said last week. And then after the match, the Dirty Dogs coming out. Dolph Ziggler not impressed with Garza, issuing the challenge. New men meeting here. Garza versus Ziggler. And in the end, Angel Garza comes out on top with a wing flipper for a 77, decent enough. 86 Garza, 63 Ziggler. Angel Garza does come out on top in the end, but his joy of victory over Dolph Ziggler, of shutting up Ziggler, proving him wrong, is short-lived before he is attacked by the Dirty Dogs. Storm and Rude storm into the ring. James Storm into the ring if you want. And they take out Angel Garza, which pretty Robert Roode thing to do, for an 81. Happy with this. Angel Garza, he won the match, but he lost the war. But he won the battle. Did he lose the war? I don't know what I'm saying. He beat Dolph Ziggler, but he got beat down, and he's on the mat right now, so did he really win? Yes, technically, but still. As then we go backstage, and Edris Anafe is a little bit down, and 2 defeats in a row, just on here on Raw. He bumps into R-Truth, though, who says hi. He introduced himself. He is R-Truth. Introduced Edris to his baby. He says that, he's new here, and, a slow start, but R-Truth says he knows a thing or two about losing. And you just got to pick yourself up and keep going. I lost so many times in my life, but look at me standing here with my baby back around my waist, my baby right here, pointing to the 24/7 title, and Edris kind of looking down and noticing it for the first time. And then Edris like, yeah, thanks, but what's that over there? R-Truth like, what? And then turning around, when Edris quickly rolls him up, a referee appears as if by magic from nowhere and counts to 1, 2, 3 as Edris Anafe wins the 24/7 championship. 2 straight defeats in 2 weeks since debuting, but a win here, if this counts as a match, over R-Truth, winning 24/7 title for a 48. R-Truth in shock. Edris Anafe runs the hell out of their 24/7 title in tow. Yep, 24/7 title, shenanigans, a little bit of fun to add to the occasion of drama that these shows usually turn into. As next up, a match between Murphy and The Miz. Yeah, just a straight up match. Miz interrupting MJF last week, dissing him a bit, and now looking to show what he can do here against Murphy in the ring. And he comes out on top of the skull crushing finale for a 77. Good match. 77 Miz, 64 Murphy. Happy with this. After the match, Miz getting on the mic and says that he is the best. He is the pinnacle of sports entertainment, and then people like Frederick Fairchild and MJF, both bargain basement versions of The Miz, running around like they run the show, they like they matter or mean anything. But who is the multi-time world champion? Who is the multi-time Intercontinental champion? Who is the former tag team? Who is the Slammy Award winning artist? Who is the box office reality show mega star? It's not MJF, it's not Frederick Fairchild, it is The Miz. And this is The Miz show. And if anyone's got a problem with that, then The Miz will happily teach him a lesson. Yeah, Miz, a clear warning for both MJF and Frederick Fairchild, forever in his business. Before out comes Chris Jericho separately, comes out to address his return. The Judas, everyone loves, everyone's singing along. And Jericho says that he is back. Y2J, the GOAT, is back. The greatest sports entertainer the world has ever seen is back. Home. on Monday Night Raw. Now, where's he's been? You all know where I've been. But what you might not know is where I'm going, or maybe you do, because I think I made that pretty clear. I've got a few things I want to tick off the old bucket list of Jericho before I go. And cementing my spot as the greatest intercontinental champion this company has ever seen is right at the top of it. So Montez Ford, come on out here. Montez Ford coming out. And Jericho saying that he was impressed with Montez Ford. He has been this whole year. And then at Mania, capping off winning the Intercontinental. Congratulations. But that is Y2J's belt. That belt is Y2J's legacy. No one has worn that title more, and no one has worn that title better than the GOAT that is Chris Jericho. And Montez Ford says he's a fighting champion, says he wants to step up, step up. I'm stepping up, but you're not going to like it, Montez, because when I step up to you in this ring, I'll do what I do best, and I'll kick your ass, and I'll win that championship. And there's no way around it. And Montez saying that all talk, Chris. Where have you been? Whilst I've been here in this ring week in, week out, representing this company, giving everything I've got for these fans, for the WWE Universe, you left. You ran away, and I stepped up, and you want to come in this ring and try and tear down everything I built, try and take what I earned. Well, come on then, Chris, you say you're the best in the world, you say you're the greatest of all time. Well, show us, right here, right now. Who wants to see Y2J in action? The crowd cheering along, and Chris Jericho saying, no. I wrestle when I want, where I want, and I will not be wrestling for these fans here in the XL Center. Trust me, WWE do not pay me enough to wrestle in front of people like this. The crowd booing, and Montez saying, fine then. If you're not going to wrestle, though, then let the real champ do it. Somebody get me a ref, and somebody get me an opponent. For an 89, Montez Ford issuing his own challenge, someone to step up. Chris Jericho going to ringside to watch. And who steps up? But Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley, of course, accompanied by Montel Vontavious Porter, MVP of the Hurt Business. Coming out to accompany Bobby Lashley for this match with Montez Ford. And in the end, with the Intercontinental title on the line, Bobby Lashley has Montez Ford in the Hurt Lock. Montez Ford trying to fight out of it. Looks like he might be fading a little bit. Makes like he might even be about to tap. But out of nowhere, Chris Jericho slides into the ring and hits a double code breakup onto both Bobby Lashley and Montez Ford, taking them both down. The disqualification, Montez Ford retaining the title for the 86, 80 Ford, 74 Lashley. Happy with this. As Ford gets the win by DQ, though, it looked like Lashley might have had it. As afterwards, Jericho gets on the mic and says that nobody is taking that Intercontinental Championship away from you, Montez, but me. It's been tainted enough by some of the people who have held it whilst I've been away. And now it's time for a real champion, for Le Champion, to take back what is his baby and take back that Intercontinental Championship. For a 91, a clear message from Jericho. He wants his Intercontinental title back, and he doesn't care who he has to hurt to get one step closer towards it. Before we head backstage for a bit more 24/7 title shenanigans. Edris walking around on cloud 9. He's really happy. 24/7 title, in hand. He's walking along and he bumps into someone, and Akira Tozawa turns around. And Edris is apologized, and then Akira's like, and then Akira's eyes slowly move to the 24/7 title. And Edris notices. He's like, yeah, well, I gotta go. And he tries to hurry away, but he bumps into someone else. And he's like, I'm so sorry. And then Andrew Everett turns around. He's like, it's okay. And then he sees the 24/7 title, and Edris notices that. And he's like, I really have to go. As Akira and Andrew both kind of slowly start to move towards him. And he backs into Arturo Vidal, turning around like, I'm sorry. And then Arturo's like, it's okay. And then he sees the 24/7 title. Because it was only brought back last week, and who the hell watches Raw? So, all these people didn't even know it was back yet. But they all kind of noticed Tozawa, Everett, Arturo Ruaz? Yeah. All notice, and they all slowly start to move to Edris and Arfe, who dashes away, and they all chase after him. Edris eventually rounding a corner and hiding just down a dark alley, a darkened corridor, and they run past. He's kind of breathing a sigh of release as from the shadows behind him, almost like Batman himself, emerges R-Truth with a referee as well. Hell, let's go to High 9 yards. R-Truth's wearing a Batman costume. The referee is wearing a Robin costume. Sure. Not a full costume, he just has like a Robin mask on. And R-Truth rolls up Edris and Arfe, and the referee counts 1, 2, 3. R-Truth wins back the 24/7 championship for a 37. It's fine. Just reintroducing some of the 24/7 title division. More stupid segments. I love it. I want a bit more comedy in proceedings. And the 24/7 title is perfect for that, isn't it? As now back to the seriousness of the main event of this evening. It is, as advertised last week, Naomi versus Sasha Banks, where the winner will earn a shot at Io Shirai, the Women's World Champion, at Vengeance. Sasha Banks wants an opportunity to reclaim her title, whilst Naomi wants to climb back to the top of a women's division, losing the women's tag titles at WrestleMania as well. She wants gold back on her waist. She wants to prove Roman Reigns wrong for kicking her out of the bloodline. And both women in the ring ready to go when, of course, the music of Io Shirai, the Women's World Champion, hits, and she comes out and sits at ringside to watch. She wants to see who her challenger is. Sasha Banks not impressed. Naomi focused on this fight for 100, and then the main event of this evening is Sasha Banks versus Naomi in a Women's World Championship #1 contenders match, and both women give it their all. They're both incredible in ring. No one will argue with that, or at least I don't imagine you will. If you want to, please don't. I can't be bothered to. But they have a great match. And in the end, Sasha Banks on top. And Sasha Banks maybe gets a bit ahead of herself. Maybe gets a bit distracted. You know, begins taunting at Io Shirai, saying, "This is what's going to happen to you at Vengeance when I take my title back. I hope you're enjoying keeping that warm for me, because I'm coming back for I am the blueprint, the boss, and the best. I am WWE. I am this women's division. I run this show." And the distractions may be enough, as in the end, Naomi, out of nowhere, while Sasha Banks is looking out over at Io Shirai at ringside, you know, Naomi out of nowhere, from behind, rolls up Sasha Banks, hooks the tights a little bit even, and gets the 1, 2, 3. As your winner and the #1 contender to Io Shirai's Women's World title is Naomi for a 79. Decent enough main event. I mean, 76 Naomi, 83 Sasha. Yeah, it was a good match nonetheless. I'm fine with that. I think the angles helped the show rating at least, especially because we're not done angle-wise yet. As, of course, after the match, Io Shirai gets into the ring and her and Naomi stare down. And just in the background, you can see Sasha Banks kind of sitting up against the ramp, angry, upset, shocked. She can't believe it. She is not getting an immediate shot at that Women's World title for a 100. Sasha Banks, the upset is gone. She's just pissed off at this point. And she leaves the ring and she storms up the ramp and she is shouting, arguing at fans. You know, I'm the best. You're nothing. All you people are nothing. I am the blueprint. I am the boss of this company. I run this show. This show belongs to me. I will get my Women's World title back. No one can stop me. You guys are nothing. As she gets to the top of the ramp, taunting the fans one last time, before turning around to leave. And who does she run into? But a returning Portela Muerte, aka Thunder Rosa, if you can't remember. Portela Muerte hasn't been seen since Halloween Havoc, where she had a one and as far only match in WWE, I'm pretty sure, defeating Charlotte Flair in a Buried Alive match. Where then she went off to go fight in an MMA fight, but she is back, and she set her sights immediately here. Sasha Banks taking down the boss, laying her out at the top of the ramp, and then standing tall over her for a 99. Big end to the show. Sasha Banks coming up short against Naomi. So Naomi is right at Vengeance for that Women's World title with Sasha Banks. No time to be worried or upset or, you know, be sad or to, to have pity on herself. There you go. For her defeat, as she is immediately targeted by Portela Muerte. On this episode of Raw, overall gets a rating of 89. I mean, that's pretty good, considering it was a 79 main event, and we had a low segment of 37 for the 24/7 title. But we take that. I'm happy enough. Good episode of Raw. I'm fine with that. You know, yeah, I'm happy. Things moving very well towards Vengeance. As Vengeance not the only pay-per-view at the end of the month, of course, as we also have that WrestleMania Backlash co-branded special between NXT and Smackdown. So let's go find out what's happening on the build-up to there. First of all, of course, with another episode of NXT. And NXT gets underway with a promo from Imperium. They make their way out to the ring. Bartel and Aikman, of course, other side of the NXT UK champion Walter, who finally made his long-anticipated appearance in this series, showing up last week to interrupt the just after the interruption by Aikman Bartel in the NXT versus NXT Japan match between Gable and Nakamura, laying them both out, all a standing tall, and they come out here, and Walter says that the ring general is here now on NXT. And he heard the arguing between Gable and Nakamura about who is the face of NXT. And the answer is it's not Gable and it's not Nakamura, it is the ring general, Walter, the NXT UK champion, the most dominant champion WWE has ever seen. Gable and Nakamura, they've had their titles for no time at all, but Walter has had his title forever, and he will continue to hold it forever because he is NXT UK. He is the face of NXT. Imperium runs this show. Imperium is NXT. Imperium has taken over. For 76, good little opening promo. Volta speaking after his appearance last week and making it very clear that Imperium are here and Imperium is ready to take over properly NXT. Fighting words from the NXT UK champion Volta. As next up, out comes the Cruiserweight champion Trey Griffin, and he invites Cedric and Ricochet down, and he says, last week they issued their challenge, and now he's issuing his. He says, Cedric, I want you to show me what you got. I want me to show you why you think you deserve a shot at this Cruiserweight Championship of mine for 77. Cedric says, let's do it. Next up, Cedric Alexander versus Joaquin Wilde. And Cedric Alexander picks up the win with the lumbar check for a 65. Good little match. 71 Cedric, 33 Joaquin. Cedric picks up the victory. And afterwards, Trey congratulates Cedric and then says, Ricochet, what you got? You want a shot my gold too? What you got? Why you deserve it? Ricochet says, I'll show you. So next up, Ricochet versus Raul Mendoza. And Ricochet, well, for that is an 83. And then the match, Ricochet picks up the win with the Benadrylla for a 72. Good match. 76 Ricochet, 35 Raul. Happy with this. Ricochet picking up the victory, and then afterwards, Trey Griffin getting back in the ring and saying, Cedric, Ricochet, you both proved yourself. You both showed what you got, and I'm impressed. I want to defend my title against the best, you two. Hey, you're not the best because I'm the best, but you're damn close. So you both want a shot, you got it. For a 69, Trey wants Cedric and Ricochet. Ricochet and Cedric both want that Cruiserweight title. A match made in heaven between these three incredible superstars. As then, we go backstage for the promo from Legado. Legado, Zelina Vega, Andrade, Humberto Carrillo, and Santos Escobar, injured by Kayla Braxton about last week. Their actions, taking all the champs, stealing the titles. And Selena says that, look, those titles will be Legado's property soon enough. It doesn't matter if we hold them right now or not. We are coming for them and we are going to take them because Legado is here for domination. And our quest for complete and total domination continues tonight. Next up, when Andrade beats Austin Theory and becomes the #1 contender to the NXT North American Championship, which he will take from Isaiah Swerve Scott at WrestleMania Backlash for 77. Good promo. Next up, Andrade versus Austin Theory match-wise, but before then we have another promo backstage. A little promo from #trending, Ethan Page, Grayson Waller, Reggie, Persia Pirotta, and Tiffany Stratton. And Persia and Tiffany and Grayson talking about Persia and Tiffany, buffing and your boyfriend as their as a tandem known last week, taking out the Black Cartwheel Tank Express and Next Gen. And Grayson Waller, that was a truly #trending moment as Persia and Tiffany over here proved why they're the best, why they're here to take over the NXT Women's Division, the WWE Women's Division, the World's Women's Division, because Persia and Tiffany are better and they are stronger in every way than every single woman on that roster. Better and stronger than Indy, then Shotzi, then Candice, then Annie, then Cora, then every single one of them, Persia and Tiffany, come out on top, and they're interrupted by Team Ninja, Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter. Not impressed with Tiffany and Persia's actions, issuing the challenge, and Grayson Waller on their behalf happily accepting, saying that when Persia and Tiffany beat you two wannabes in that ring, that moment, just like last week, will truly be hashtag trending. For 33, yeah, good promo. Match up later. Before that, we have the match as announced like a minute ago. Andrade taking on Austin Theory in the NXT North American Championship #1 contenders match, and in the end, Andrade looks like he might have it. Stepping up to him, Austin Theory with La Sombra. Now nowhere runs out Carmelo Hayes, jumping on the apron. Andrade getting a bit distracted by Hayes. DFG's stopping them stealing the titles last week, letting go of Austin Theory, going for Hayes, going to strike him. Hayes jumping off the apron. Andrade and him shouting at each other, and the perfect distraction it allows for Austin Theory to roll up Andrade from behind, handful of tights as well, just to make sure of it, and pick up the win. Austin Theory is the #1 contender to the NXT North American Championship, Isaiah Swerve Scott's championship, and Andrade costed by Carmelo Hayes, and Austin Theory's cheating, but first of all by Carmelo Hayes. 77 for the match, really good. 93 Andrade, 66 Austin Theory. I'm happy with this, but Andrade is not, he's pissed, he's shouting at Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes is taunting him. Austin Theory is just very happy to earn a championship opportunity at WrestleMania Backlash for an 86. Good match, good post, I'm happy. As then we go backstage to a promo, still staying in this room with Isaiah Swerve Scott, and he says he's ready for anyone. He says if Andrade ever wants to fully focus on being great, then Swerve will happily take him down a peg, and if Hayes wants to get his ass beat again, just like it was when Isaiah Swerve Scott won this NXT North American Championship originally, he'll happily do that as well. But for now, his focus is Austin Theory at WrestleMania Backlash. Austin Theory is a good young competitor, but he ain't got nothing on Swerve. And Swerve knows that him beating Austin Theory's ass and retaining this NXT North American Championship is not just a theory, it's soon to be a reality for 100. Jesus Christ, what a promo. I didn't even notice the 100 there, I was really into it. Really good work from Swerve on the mic. An NXT North American champion we can all be proud of here. As the next up, we have that earlier announced tag team match on one side with the rest of hashtag trending, Reggie, Waller, and Paige in their corner. We have Buffer, then your boyfriend, Persia Prota and Tiffany Stratton, taking on Team Ninja, Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter. And in the end, Buffer and your boyfriend pick up a big win for them as a team. A 50 for the match is pretty good, to be honest. 50 Casey, 41 Caden, 40 Persia, go on Persia, and 28 Tiffany. Tiffany got to be built up, but Buffer and your boyfriend pick up the win, and they're very happy when they're interrupted by one Annie Cooper of Next Gen, and she issues a challenge. She says they want to bully people, they want to pick on people, then fine. You want to shout at someone? How about me? Next week, I'll take on either one of you, and I'll beat you, because you two are just bullies, but you're not anything. And if someone's going to stand up to you, then why not me? For a 29, Buff and your boyfriend, well, Grayson Waller, more specifically, accepting on that behalf. So next week, Annie Cooper will take on one member of Buffer, then your boyfriend. As next up, then we go backstage, and we see the NXT champion Chad Gable arriving to the arena. Kayla Braxton tries to grab a word with him, but he just storms past, arrives at Regal's office, smashes through the door. Ridge Holland's there to intercept. Gable saying he needs to speak to Regal. Ridge Holland says, no, mate, no, mate, no. And Regal says to let him in, Ridge. And Chad Gable coming in, Regal saying, what is it you want, Chad? And Chad Gable says he needs a match with Walter tonight. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. He needs a match with Walter tonight. And Regal says, Gable, I'd love to, but we just have no time, okay? The show, it's filled out for the rest of this evening. We don't have time for this. And Gable saying, no, I don't care. I don't care about no time. I don't care about any of that. I need a match with Walter tonight. I'm your NXT champion, Regal. I stood up for you against Thatcher, and I do it again, but I need this match. And Regal says, fine, I'll move some things around. I'll shift things. I'll change things. We'll get it. But I'm serious here, Gable. we're limited here. And so I'm going to have to impose a 20-minute time limit on your match. And Gable says, fine, I don't need 20 minutes. For an 81 main event setup, Gable, Walter, 20-minute time limit on it. As then we stay backstage for Destined for Greatness, laughing their way out of the arena. They're very happy. Legado intercepting and very much not happy with their interference. A brawl looks like it might be about to break out when Ridge Holland appears, just like last week, to kind of step in, get involved, and like, what the hell is going on here then, right? Ridge Holland, the guardian protector of the NXT parking lot. Thank God it's been needed, isn't it? Eventually separating things. Trick Williams, though, kind of running into Ridge Holland, and Ridge Holland's saying, right, Legado, you guys leave, right? And you Trick, you're coming with me. Kind of grabs him around the neck for an 88, takes him down to the ring for an impromptu match. Ridge Holland, not impressed with Trick Williams hitting him, and wanted to teach him a lesson. So impromptu, Ridge Holland versus Trick Williams right here. And Ridge Holland makes very quick work of it. Gets the win for a 10. I wasn't expecting much. It's a 3-minute squash match from Ridge Holland. 31 Ridge, 20 Trick. It is what it is, isn't it? As next up, it's time for... we have Kayla. And she tries to grab a word with Chad Gable. But Gable says he's got no time. He's got to get out there. 20-minute time. The time's ticking away. Ridge Holland's taking up time, for Christ's sake. So I've got to get out there because I need to... I'm going to be honest with you, Kayla. I need to kick Walter's ass for a 96. And so main event time, the NXT champion Chad Gable versus the NXT UK champion Walter, with a 20-minute time limit imposed. Both men, both Goliaths, both champions go at it. Walter using his size and his strength to try and wear Gable down, but Gable's never quit attitude, fighting into it. You have the amazing visual of Gable picking up Walter and hitting him with an angle slam. He goes for an RKO on Walter, but Walter just kind of puts one arm underneath Gable to hold him up, and then gets the other arm up and just chops him down. Very painful. And in the end, Walter hits a golden bomb off the top rope to Gable, to the mat, and he covers him for the 1-2 kick out as time expires. 20 minutes passed. It's a draw. The time limit has ended. 86 for the match show. 89 Gable, 66 Walter. Happy with this. Walter tried his best. I mean, the golden bomb off the top rope wasn't enough in the end, and Walter is not happy. After the match, he picks up Gable again, and he plants with another golden bomb, and then gets Bartel and Eichner to pick him up, and he unleashes a massive chop, and then he climbs to the top rope, and he hits a big splash, and he covers him, and tells the ref to count, and the ref does. 1, 2, another kick out. The match is over, but Walter wanting this pinfall to show his dominance, to make Gable see that he is better than him, but Gable still kicking out somehow after all of this. Walter hell enough. Eichner and Bartel beating down on Gable. They get him up and they hit him with the European Bomb, their tag finisher, before Walter makes the cover again for a 1, a 2, a kick out. Gable still fighting somehow, finding the energy, and Eichner and Bartel just beating the hell out of Gable. They get a table into the ring and they step him up, and Walter prepares to hit the European Bomb. Without rushes the NXT Japan champion Shinsuke Nakamura, and he charges down to the ring and he makes the save in the end. Imperium leaving and Nakamura helping Gable to his feet while trying to. Gable's pretty out of it, but Nakamura, come on, to Nakamura, ready for a fight. But Imperium having none of it right now for a 92. Big ending. Walter couldn't quite get that pinfall on Gable somehow, and Nakamura making the save in the end for his fellow champion. As overall, this episode of NXT gets a 90, which, considering there's a 10 rated match here, is pretty good. Once again, still got to build up people like hashtag trending, like Next Gen, like Ridge Holland, but still, overall, I'm very happy with this. A good episode of NXT to keep things ticking along towards WrestleMania Backlash. And WrestleMania Backlash, of course, a co-branded pay-per-view, NXT and Smackdown. So let's see what is happening on Smackdown heading up. As we continue to build up to WrestleMania Backlash, it is time for another episode of Smackdown. And Smackdown Live gets underway with the women's tag team champions Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair making their way out to the ring. Lynch and Flair on SmackDown last week, they beat Doudrop Medium, and then they were attacked by No Mercy, and they come out and say, that they are not afraid of No Mercy. Tay Conti, Sonya Deville, Shayna Baszler, they're not afraid of any of them. But they want to step up. Then step up. Lynch, Flair, neither of them are scared. Neither of them are cowards. They're champions and they're fight champions at that. Unlike No Mercy, by the way, none of them are champions anymore, are they? But if they want to go, then let's go. Conti, Deville, Baszler, any of you, get your asses out here and let us kick them. When Ronda Rousey comes out, and Ronda Rousey also problems with No Mercy, and she says that I heard we're calling out No Mercy. And I have no doubt that Lynch Flair, I have no doubt both of you could deal with them, but at the same time, I want to deal with them as well. So if you don't mind, I'll get in on this a little bit, and then No Mercy coming out saying, well, what do we have here? If it isn't the women who made history at WrestleMania 35, the first women to main event WrestleMania, all together, all friends again. Oh, for the first time, shall we say. Oh, you guys can pretend to get along, you can pretend you like each other, but we know the truth. We know that all of you are seconds away from imploding at any given time, because we know Lynch, Flair, we know you think those titles are beneath you. We know you want that title on Ronda's shoulders. But that title doesn't belong to you or you or you. It belongs to me, and those women tag titles belong to Tay and Sonya. And Charlotte saying, is that enough? Enough talk, time for action. So, which of you is it going to be that I'm going to fight tonight? And Sonya Deville's the one who accepts the challenge to later tonight main event, Charlotte Flair versus Sonya Deville. 89 for that. Good segment. Happy with that. No issues so far. As then next up we go backstage to the parking lot where the Bloodline have arrived. Roman Reigns, Jimmy, Jay, and Solo Sikoa, who debuted last week, kicking out Jacob Fo in the process. And Roman says he's happy. He's happy. He's dealt with Dwayne. The dead weight's gone. The prodigal son, Solo Sikoa, has returned to take his rightful seat at the table. And now is the time to move forward. First of all, now is the time for the Usos to prove themselves, prove that they deserve their seat at the table, prove that they don't deserve to happen to them what happened to Jacob last week. Because you see, Jimmy and Jay, Solo here, he might be your brother, but, well, he's been fending for himself for so long out there. Let's just say that he is your keeper now. He's going to keep a special and close eye on both of you for when I am not around. And then, well, he'll be there to congratulate you. The congratulatory party, man, when you reclaim those Smackdown tag titles at WrestleMania Backlash. Or he'll be the one, well, the first one, to exude some tribal justice if you fail me again. For 100, good segment, good promo. The Usos in action later tonight in a SmackDown Tag Team Championship Contenders qualifying match. There you go. As then next up we have AJ Styles taking on Braun Strowman. AJ Styles wanting to prove he deserves a shot at that Universal title of Keith Lee's, wanting to show what he can do here on SmackDown, and in the end overcomes the odds, gets the win over Strowman. They didn't seem to click, and it made for an awkward bout, sadly. 75, disappointing. 78 AJ, 71 Braun. It's fine enough, you know. AJ comes out on top, proves that maybe, you know, he can overcome the odds. He could deal with a bigger guy. And maybe a little preview of what he hopes to happen if he gets in that ring with Keith Lee, who we go backstage to being interviewed by Kayla Braxton. And he says that he's impressed. You know, AJ Styles in the ring, there was never a doubt. He's an incredible, phenomenal competitor at that. And SmackDown might have been the house that AJ Styles built, but now SmackDown is a house full of limitless potential and an altar through which to bask in the glory of the Universal Heavyweight Champion of the world, Keith Lee. But if AJ Styles wants to take a shot at the champion, then Keith Lee will happily meet him in that ring to settle things. For 100, really good promo, as you'd expect from Keith Lee. He's just really good, isn't he? Universal Champion for a reason. He is just very good. Speaking of guys who are champions and very good, we go to the ring. Xavier Woods, the United States Champion, and he's in a good mood. He's been celebrating all week long, he says. After WrestleMania 38, he proved what he's been saying all along, that he is the mastermind, and he is the face, and he is the best out of the group formerly known as the New Day at WrestleMania. He beat Big E and Kofi Kingston in the eponymous, the historic, the long-awaited New Day triple threat, as it is dubbed, but he won. And it was easy. It wasn't a challenge. It wasn't a question of if he could win. It was how long it took and who he'd pin at WrestleMania. He did it. He retained his United States Championship. And he is still here holding it. Big E and Kofi Kingston are gone. They're not here anymore. The only member of that group left standing is him, because he is the best from it. From a 98, the reign of Woods is upon us. And out comes a man who helped him achieve his reign, Mustafa Ali, congratulating Woods on the win, of course. But then saying that he wants some gold of his own. Saying that he helped Woods, he wanted revenge on Kofi anyway, but he helped Woods become United States Champion. He helped him against Big E and Kofi throughout. And now he wants some gold of his own to show for it. And Xavier says, oh, that's understandable, Ali. And so you know what he was going to do? I will go talk to Vince McMahon, Mr. McMahon. I call him Vinny. And we'll see about getting us in a Smackdown Tag Team Championship Contenders qualifying match, okay? For 71. Ali wants some gold. Woods seemingly happy to oblige in helping him get some around his shoulder. And then we go backstage to Liv Morgan and Bianca Belair talking, teaming up last week to take down Chelsea Green and Aaliyah in a tag team match. And, they're happy. Liv Morgan on the good side of things now, when they're interrupted by Lana, and Lana not happy with Bianca, and Liv Morgan keep getting in the Honors Group's business, and Bianca turning to Liv Morgan in the end saying, you want to deal with this? And Liv said, happily. And a match later tonight, Liv Morgan versus Lana for a 76. Yeah, just a nice little backstage segment before we return to the ring for that earlier mentioned Tag Team Championship qualifying match. It's the Usos versus Leon Ruff and Lio Rush. And in the end, it is the Usos who come out on top, hitting that double Samoan splash onto Lio Rush to pick up the victory for 79. Good match. 82 Jay, 76 Jimmy, 57 Leo, 41 Leon. I am happy. The Usos advance to the Smackdown Tag Team Championship Contenders match next week. They get their arm raised as Solo Sikoa's music hit, and he storms down to the ring, and he just further lays out Lio Rush and Leon Ruff, planting them both down with Samoan drops and standing tall over them whilst glaring over at Jimmy and Jay. He is his brother's keeper. He is the muscle, I guess, of the bloodline. They're all pretty strong though. He is, it kind of seems like Roman Reigns' current right hand man for a 63. Jimmy and Jay looking to prove themselves though. First step accomplished, advancing to that SmackDown Tag Team Title Contenders match next week. And, win the SmackDown Tag Titles back in Roman Reigns' good graces, surely. Before next up, we have that earlier mentioned match between Lana and Liv Morgan, and maybe expectedly Bianca Belair watching on at ringside to make sure no one gets involved. Liv Morgan comes out on top with the Liv kick for a 64. Yeah, fine enough match. 61 Liv, 42 Lana. Liv Morgan picks up another victory. As now it's time for a special edition of Late Night with LA Knight. LA Knight coming out saying, let me talk to you. Last week, I broke free of the clutches of, oh God, that joke, that clown, that loser, Thaddeus Bullard, or, you know what, his loser Titus O'Neil, as we all really know he is deep down, the loser, the washed up clown. And so tonight I thought I'd have a special edition of Late Night with LA Knight for all of you. And I want to invite my special guest to the ring. Alfonso Bourbon, Socrates Torres, Spanish Flight, and Cameron Grimes, the three men who helped him in that beatdown of Thaddeus Bullard. And they come down to the ring and LA Knight welcomes them. They thank him for the invite. And LA Knight saying that, you see, us four, we carried that group. We were the golden gooses of the Bullard brand, but the Bullard brand is dead, and yet we remain the golden gods. And if Thaddeus Bullard and if Titus O'Neil wants to take a go, then I'll happily plant his ass out just like I did last week. And then, top of our priority list is getting the golden gods some gold around their waists, because Alfonso, his legs getting better and better by the minute. And him and Socrates, Spanish Fly over here, want some tag team gold back round their waist, and the $1 million megastar LA Knight is going right to the top, baby. Trust me at that. Yeah! For 100, really good edition of Late Night of LA Knight, when they're interrupted by the music of Thaddeus Bullard, and out storms not Thaddeus Bullard. It's a guy wearing like Thaddeus Bullard attire. LA Knight, feigning cowardness and scared, but it's Gilbert of this situation, and like trying to make a joke of Titus O'Neil, as he says, calling for a ref, an impromptu match where LA Knight, of course, makes short work of Aiden Hopkins here for a 51. I mean, Aiden Hopkins got 7, and LA Knight got a 90, so, but LA Knight making short work of it, and he says, all right. Maybe that wasn't Titus O'Neil. But, well, Titus O'Neil, you people, he wants you to call him Thaddeus Bullard. He wants us to forget, but we cannot forget. So, Thaddeus, Titus, whatever you want to call yourself, tune in next week. Better yet, show up, and I will give a personal history lesson into your life, and maybe you'll remember who you are and remember while you are not on top and why LA Knight is heading there, baby. Yeah, for a 94. LA Knight promising a personal history lesson in the life of Titus O'Neil, Thaddeus Bullard next week. Yeah, good work from LA Knight. No complaints, as he looks to fully break out of the shadow of Thaddeus Bullard. Before next up, we have the second Smackdown Tag Team Championship Contenders qualifying match between the newest team on Smackdown, Breezango, who successfully debuted last week being the Forgotten Sons, taking on the team of Mustafa Ali and Xavier Woods. And Ali and Woods working pretty well together, so Breezango, of course. And in the end, Ali, a bit tired in the ring, going to tag in Woods, going for a hot tag. He jumps, he goes to tag, and Woods just falls off the apron, or jumps off it more correctly, I guess is the wording. Ali like, what? And Woods says, I'm the champ, you're nothing but an idiot. And Woods walking away, Ali getting back to his feet, trying his best, but in the end unable to do on his own, as Breezango pick up the win, and it will be Breezango versus the Usos next week in the SmackDown Tag Team Championship Contenders match. 66 for that, decent enough match. Breeze picking up the win over Ali. 77 Woods, 62 Breeze, 57 Fandango, 49 Ali. Happy with this. Woods, obviously doesn't care about Mustafa Ali, leaving him to lose here, as his quest for gold quickly runs short on this occasion. Before next up, it's time for the main event. As announced in the opening segment, it is one half of the Women's Tag Team Champion Charlotte Flair taking on 1/3 of No Mercy, Sonya Deville, and Rousey and Tay Conti at ringside. Lynch is at ringside, Rousey has come as well. And in the end, Flair and Deville having a great match. Ringside, the squabbles begin. A little brawl breaks out at ringside as well. Rousey and Baszler and Lynch and Tay Conti. And in the end, the referee leaning out of the ropes, telling him to stop. Charlotte Flair on top, holding up Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville pushes her off, kind of pulls something. and then bras knuckles right across the face of Charlotte Flair, taking her out. Before she can drop though, Sonya Deville grabs her from behind, puts on a chokehold, drops to the floor. Charlotte Flair out cold, Sonya Deville calling for the referee, noticing that Charlotte Flair is unconscious, and ringing for the bell. Your winner, Sonya Deville. By way of submission, by way of knockout, by way of cheating and distraction, whatever you want to call it. 80 for the match though, pretty good main event. 83 Charlotte, 75 Sonya. A massive win for Sonya Deville here, pinning Charlotte Flair. As then, no mercy, Sonya leaves the ring. Lynch and Rousey get into it, and Deville, Conti and Baszler taunt and celebrate up the ramp as Lynch checks on her friend Charlotte, and Rousey just stares up the ramp at Shayna Baszler, Deville and Conti. No mercy, not impressed for a 91. Good match, good post-match segment as things hot up between these 6 superstars. As the final show this week, Smackdown, gets an overall rating of 88. You know, another pretty decent. Building a lot. I mean, post-Mania, you got to do it. You know, people like Liv Morgan and Lana and Aiden Hopkins appearing on the show. You got to build up their pop and their stats. And that's how you do it. And you do it early on so that later on when you get to Mania, when you use these type of people, they're better. And they do all right, you know. But that is going to be it for today. I hope you've enjoyed. You know, let me know in the comments what are you thinking? How are you thinking of how the cards for Vengeance and WrestleMania Backlash are shaping up? What are you looking forward to happening going forward? What do you want to happen this season? Let me know. Leave a like and subscribe for more while you're down there. And as always, I just want to say thank you for watching.